There comes a point in life when you realize that not everyone around you is meant to stay. Some people bring light, encouragement, and growth, while others drain your energy, poison your mind, and hold you back from becoming who you're meant to be. Toxic people can disguise themselves as friends, co-workers, or even family, but their patterns are always the same. They belittle your dreams, they make you doubt your worth, and they manipulate your kindness for their own gain. If you want to live a life of peace, confidence, and purpose, you need to make one powerful move that will change everything. Set unbreakable boundaries. One of the most crucial steps in removing toxic people from your life is recognizing them in the first place. Toxic individuals don't always appear in obvious ways. They don't come with warning labels, and many times, they may even be the people you trust the most. What makes them toxic isn't necessarily who they are, but how they consistently make you feel. If you want to protect your peace, you must sharpen your awareness to the subtle patterns they display. Toxic people drain your energy. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling mentally exhausted, even though nothing productive was discussed? That's the effect of being around someone toxic. They thrive on negativity, gossip, criticism, and drama. Instead of lifting you up, they pull you down into their storm. Over time, this can erode your enthusiasm for life, making you feel heavy and unmotivated. The first sign of toxicity is how your energy shifts after interacting with someone. Do you feel drained, anxious, or insecure? If yes, that's your inner compass signaling you. Another pattern of toxic behavior is manipulation. Toxic people are skilled at twisting situations to benefit themselves. They might guilt trip you, use your kindness against you, or make you feel responsible for their problems. At first, it may look like they simply need support, but eventually, you realize they never take accountability. Instead, they push the weight of their choices onto you, leaving you feeling guilty when you shouldn't. Recognizing manipulation is vital, because it often hides behind fake concern or sweet words. A third common pattern is belittlement. Toxic individuals may downplay your achievements, criticize your dreams, or mock your values. They disguise their negativity as honesty or jokes, but the real goal is to make you question yourself. Why? Because when you doubt your worth, it gives them more control over you. Pay close attention to those who laugh at your goals, dismiss your feelings, or constantly make you feel not enough. This isn't love or friendship, it's toxicity disguised as closeness. Envy is another indicator. A toxic person struggles to celebrate your wins. Instead of being genuinely happy for you, they get uncomfortable or shift the focus back to themselves. You might notice subtle remarks like, "You just got lucky," or "It's not that big of a deal." These comments reveal their inability to appreciate your growth, because your success threatens their insecurities. Lastly, inconsistency is a key trait of toxic people. They may be warm and supportive one moment, then cold and cruel the next. This hot and cold treatment keeps you guessing and walking on eggshells, never truly knowing where you stand with them. This emotional roller coaster is intentional. It keeps you hooked and dependent, hoping they'll return to the good version of themselves. Recognizing these behaviors is the first and most powerful step to freedom. Once you identify toxicity, you can't unsee it. It becomes impossible to ignore how someone truly treats you, no matter how much they claim to care. The beauty of recognition is that it empowers you to make conscious choices. Instead of reacting emotionally or falling into their traps, you can step back, detach, and prepare to set firm boundaries. Remember, this awareness is protection. The moment you learn to recognize toxic patterns, you stop blaming yourself and start understanding the truth. You see that the problem was never your worth, it was their behavior. And once you see clearly, you can no longer be controlled. Once you recognize toxic patterns in people, the next powerful move is to set unbreakable boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep everyone out, they are gates that allow love, respect, and positivity in, while keeping manipulation, disrespect, and negativity out. They are your way of saying, "This is who I am, this is what I deserve, and this is what I will no longer tolerate." Without boundaries, toxic people will continue to take advantage of your kindness, drain your energy, and make you feel powerless. But the moment you establish firm limits, everything changes. Setting boundaries starts with clarity. You must first define what behaviors are unacceptable to you. Is it constant criticism? Is it manipulation through guilt? Is it disrespect for your time and energy? Once you know exactly what you will not allow, you can draw a clear line. This clarity is powerful because toxic people thrive in gray areas. They exploit your uncertainty. But when you know your limits, you leave no room for confusion. The second step is communication. Boundaries don't have to be aggressive or confrontational. You don't need to shout or prove your worth. A boundary is simply a calm statement of your values. For example, "I will not engage in conversations that disrespect me," or, "If you raise your voice, I will step away." These statements are not about changing the other person, they're about controlling your response. Toxic people may not respect your boundary, but the key is, you must respect it yourself. When you enforce it consistently, they eventually realize they can no longer control you. Consistency is what makes boundaries unbreakable. If you say you won't tolerate certain behavior, but continue to allow it, the toxic person learns that your words mean nothing. They'll keep pushing. But if you follow through every single time, whether that means walking away, ending the call, or limiting interactions, you show them that you value yourself enough to protect your peace. Boundaries only work when you honor them with action. Some people struggle with guilt when setting boundaries, especially with family or long-time friends. You may fear being seen as selfish, rude, or uncaring. But here's the truth: boundaries are not selfish, they are acts of self-respect. They protect your mental health, your goals, and your energy. Without them, you become a prisoner to the demands of others. By creating boundaries, you are teaching people how to treat you. And if they truly care about you, they will adjust. If they refuse, that's a reflection of them, not you. Another important point is that boundaries also protect your growth. As you evolve into a stronger, more confident version of yourself, not everyone will cheer for you. Some will try to pull you back into old patterns. Boundaries shield you from being dragged into negativity. They give you the freedom to focus on your purpose, without unnecessary distractions. When you practice boundaries, you'll notice something powerful. Toxic people will either adapt or leave. They cannot survive without crossing lines, and when they see you're no longer easy to manipulate, they move on to someone else. That's not rejection, it's liberation. It means your life is no longer open to unnecessary drama. The ultimate truth is this: setting unbreakable boundaries is not about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself. It's about saying, "I choose peace over chaos. I choose respect over disrespect. I choose growth over stagnation." Boundaries are your shield, your voice, and your freedom. Once you master them, toxic people lose their grip on your life forever. Toxic people survive on one thing: your energy. They thrive when you argue with them, when you try to explain yourself endlessly, when you let their words live in your mind long after the conversation is over. They don't necessarily need your love or attention. What they really crave is your reaction. And as long as you keep feeding them your energy, they'll keep coming back, draining you more and more. The powerful truth is this: the moment you stop giving them access to your energy, they lose all control over you. Think of your energy as currency. Every thought, every word, every emotional reaction is like spending money. Would you hand your paycheck to a thief who keeps robbing you? Of course not. Yet many people give their energy freely to those who gossip about them, disrespect them, or constantly create chaos. The first step to reclaiming your life is realizing that your energy is precious. You must spend it wisely, only on things and people that help you grow. So how do you stop giving toxic people access to your energy? The first way is to stop engaging in unnecessary battles. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every lie requires you to prove the truth. The more you defend yourself to someone who has already decided to misunderstand you, the more you waste your strength. Silence, in this case, becomes your greatest weapon. By refusing to argue, you deny them the drama they crave. Another powerful method is to limit your availability. Toxic people often demand your time and attention, but you are not obligated to always answer their calls, texts, or demands. You can choose when, how, and if you engage. Sometimes, the best answer is no answer at all. By controlling your availability, you protect your energy from being drained by people who only take but never give. Detachment is also crucial. This doesn't mean becoming cold or heartless. It means no longer letting their behavior control your emotions. For example, if someone constantly criticizes you, instead of internalizing their words, you recognize it as a reflection of them, not you. You emotionally detach from their negativity, like a shield protecting your inner peace. When you stop reacting, you take away their power. It's also important to redirect your energy. Instead of wasting it on toxic conversations or conflicts, invest it in things that make you stronger. Your goals, your passions, your health, and your relationships with positive people. The more you focus on your growth, the less space toxic people will have in your life. Energy flows where attention goes, so choose wisely where you place it. Of course, cutting off energy access doesn't always mean complete disconnection, especially if the toxic person is a family member or coworker you cannot avoid. In those cases, practice emotional minimalism, give only what is necessary, keep conversations short and neutral, and never reveal more of yourself than required. By reducing emotional exposure, you protect your inner world. The beauty of this practice is that it creates freedom. Toxic people cannot survive in a place where they receive no attention, no emotional reaction, and no fuel for their chaos. Over time, they will grow frustrated and either change their approach or fade out of your life completely. Either way, you win, because your peace and energy remain intact. Remember this: your energy is sacred. It is the fuel that builds your dreams, nourishes your mind, and creates your future. Don't waste it on people who only want to break you down. The moment you stop giving them access to it, you reclaim your power, your clarity, and your freedom. That one choice can transform your entire life. When dealing with toxic people, many believe that fighting back, proving a point, or standing up loudly is the only way to protect themselves. But here's the truth: the most powerful response is often no response at all. Silence and distance are not signs of weakness. They are signs of discipline, wisdom, and strength. Toxic people feed off conflict, arguments, and attention. By refusing to give them what they want, you strip away their power completely. Silence is more than the absence of words, it is the presence of self-control. Toxic individuals often try to provoke you, hoping you'll react emotionally. They may insult you, criticize you, or bring up past mistakes to spark a fight. When you respond, they feel validated because they succeeded in pulling you into their game. But when you choose silence, you send a clear message: I will not give you control over my emotions. This not only protects your peace, but it also unsettles them, because nothing frustrates a toxic person more than being ignored. Distance, on the other hand, is about protecting your space. Physically, emotionally, and mentally. Sometimes, no matter how much you argue or try to explain, toxic people will never change. They will twist your words, deny their actions, or play the victim. The smartest move is not to fight harder, but to step away. Distance does not always mean cutting people off completely. It can mean limiting contact, avoiding unnecessary interactions, or creating emotional space where their negativity cannot reach you. There is great strength in knowing when to walk away. Too many people waste years trying to change toxic individuals, hoping they will one day see the truth. But you cannot heal someone who chooses not to heal themselves. By distancing yourself, you allow them to sit with their own behavior while you move forward with your life. You stop giving them the chance to poison your energy. Silence and distance also give you clarity. When you are constantly surrounded by noise, manipulation, and negativity, it is hard to see things clearly. But when you step back, you create space for reflection. You begin to notice patterns, understand your own emotions better, and realize what you truly deserve. Distance doesn't just protect you, it heals you. It gives your mind and heart room to breathe. Another reason silence and distance are so powerful is that they shift the focus back to you. Instead of wasting your energy on endless conflicts, you redirect it towards self-growth. You begin to build your life in peace, without interference. Toxic people hate this because they want to remain the center of your attention. By quietly walking away, you show them that their control is over. Of course, silence and distance require strength, because it is tempting to react, to defend yourself, or to prove your point. But remember, not every battle is worth fighting. Some battles are designed to distract you from your purpose. Choosing silence doesn't mean you lost. It means you refuse to play a game that only leads to exhaustion. When you master silence and distance, you step into a new level of power. Toxic people can no longer dictate your mood, your choices, or your direction. Instead, you create a shield of peace around your life. You learn to value your energy so deeply that you no longer waste it on people who don't deserve it. So let your silence speak louder than any argument. Let your distance create the peace that words cannot. In the end, toxic people cannot survive in an environment where they are starved of attention. The less you give them, the weaker their hold becomes. Silence and distance are not weaknesses. They are the quiet weapons that free you forever. One of the biggest reasons toxic people hold power over us is because we value their approval more than our own self-worth. We stay in unhealthy relationships, tolerate disrespect, and keep quiet when we should speak up. All because we fear rejection, judgment, or abandonment. But here's the truth: the moment you begin choosing self-worth over approval, everything changes. Toxic people lose their grip, and you step into a life of freedom, peace, and confidence. Approval seeking is natural to some extent. As humans, we are wired to desire connection and acceptance. But the problem arises when we prioritize the opinions of others above our own values and well-being. Toxic people exploit this. They sense your need for validation and use it as leverage, making you jump through hoops to earn scraps of acceptance. They may withhold affection, criticize your choices, or give conditional approval just to keep you chasing their recognition. It becomes a cycle where you lose yourself in the pursuit of making them happy. Choosing self-worth breaks that cycle. Self-worth means recognizing your value regardless of who approves of you. It means knowing that your worth is not up for debate, and it cannot be diminished by someone else's opinion. When you truly embrace self-worth, toxic people lose the power to control you with disapproval, because you no longer need their validation to feel whole. The first step in this shift is understanding that not everyone will like you, support you, or even respect you, and that's okay. You are not here to please everyone. You are here to live authentically. When you base your decisions on approval, you live someone else's version of life. But when you choose self-worth, you begin living for yourself. This doesn't make you selfish, it makes you honest. Another key element of self-worth is setting standards. When you know your value, you no longer tolerate mistreatment, manipulation, or disrespect. You stop settling for half-hearted relationships and fake friendships. You start demanding respect, not through force, but through your presence. People can sense when you value yourself, and they treat you accordingly. Toxic people, however, will struggle with this, because they can no longer take advantage of your insecurities. self-worth also changes how you handle rejection. When you seek approval, rejection feels like a wound. It makes you feel unworthy. But when you stand in your self-worth, rejection becomes redirection. You no longer see it as proof of your inadequacy, but as protection from what wasn't meant for you. This shift is powerful, because it frees you from the constant fear of losing people who were never truly for you. Another benefit of choosing self-worth is that it attracts healthier connections. When you stop begging for approval, you create space for relationships built on mutual respect and genuine love. You begin surrounding yourself with people who see your value without you having to prove it. In this way, self-worth not only removes toxic people, it replaces them with uplifting ones. Of course, choosing self-worth over approval requires courage. It means saying no when you used to say yes just to keep the peace. It means walking away from relationships that no longer serve you. It means standing alone at times, trusting that solitude is better than fake company. But in that courage you discover strength you never knew you had. The ultimate truth is this: your worth does not depend on anyone's approval. It is already within you, unshakable and undeniable. Toxic people will try to make you forget it, but once you choose self-worth, their opinions no longer define you. You stop asking, "Do they like me?" and start asking, "Do I respect myself in this situation?" That one question shifts your entire life. So let go of the need for approval. Stand firm in your worth. When you do, toxic people will no longer have the keys to your peace. And in their absence, you will discover a freedom and strength that only comes from truly valuing yourself. Everything in your life, your peace, your happiness, your success, depends on one vital resource: your energy. It is the fuel that drives your actions, the force behind your creativity, and the light that keeps you moving forward. Yet, many people spend their energy carelessly, giving it away to arguments, negativity, and toxic people who only drain them. If you want to live a fulfilling life, you must treat your energy as your greatest treasure and guard it with everything you have. Think about it this way: your energy is like a bank account. Every day you wake up with a limited balance. Every task, conversation, or thought is a withdrawal. If you waste that balance on drama, negativity, or people who don't value you, you'll be left bankrupt, mentally and emotionally. But if you invest your energy wisely, in your goals, in positive relationships, in your health, you grow richer in peace, strength, and purpose. Protecting your energy is not optional, it is essential. The first step to protecting your energy is awareness. You must pay attention to what drains you and what nourishes you. Notice how you feel after spending time with certain people. Do you feel uplifted and motivated, or do you feel exhausted and insecure? Do certain environments inspire growth, or do they fill you with stress? These signals tell you exactly where your energy leaks are. Once you recognize them, you can begin sealing those leaks. One of the biggest energy thieves is toxic people. They thrive on your reactions, your time, and your emotional investment. By engaging with them, you are essentially handing over your most valuable resource. Protecting your energy means cutting off their access to it. That might mean setting strict boundaries, limiting contact, or walking away entirely. Remember, you don't owe your energy to everyone who demands it. You only owe it to yourself, and to those who genuinely respect and uplift you. Another way to guard your energy is to practice selective focus. Not every problem deserves your attention. Not every comment deserves your response. By choosing what to engage in, you save yourself from unnecessary exhaustion. For example, when faced with negativity, instead of reacting, you can simply redirect your focus to something that adds value to your life. This discipline is what keeps your energy safe and strong. Self-care also plays a critical role in protecting your energy. Rest, proper nutrition, exercise, meditation, and time in nature all recharge your inner battery. When you neglect these things, you become more vulnerable to toxic influences because your energy is already low. But when you consistently take care of yourself, you build a shield that makes it harder for negativity to penetrate your peace. It's also important to surround yourself with people who fuel your energy instead of draining it. Positive, supportive, and growth-minded individuals don't take from your energy, they multiply it. They inspire you, challenge you in healthy ways, and celebrate your progress. Protecting your energy is not just about avoiding the wrong people, it's about choosing the right ones. Finally, protecting your energy means valuing your time. Time and energy are deeply connected. Every hour wasted on things that don't matter is energy you'll never get back. By prioritizing your goals and aligning your actions with your values, you ensure that your energy is always invested in what truly matters. The truth is, once your energy is gone, everything else suffers. Your health, your relationships, your dreams. That's why you must guard it as your greatest treasure. Toxic people will always try to find a way to drain it, but when you protect it fiercely, they lose all power over you. So treat your energy like gold. Spend it wisely, protect it fearlessly, nurture it daily. Because the more you protect your energy, the more unstoppable, peaceful, and fulfilled your life becomes.